What's going on, dudes? Jason here with some kill confirmed on Bakarra. A couple things I wanted to touch on before I really get into my main topic. I am using the tactical insertion. A lot of people would probably say something in the comments if I did not defend myself, and they probably still will, but I'm not worried about it. Basically, I decipher between people that use tactical insertion. Like, there's people that tactically insert and actually help their team. Like, they are still trying to get kills. They collect tags, red tags and yellow tags. They're actively pursuing the game. They might go scores like 22 and 10 or something like that, but they're just tactically inserting to stay like right in the action and be close to their tags when they die. And there's people that tactically insert with the sole purpose of just getting their tags back and not getting kills, not picking up yellow tags, and just getting their own tags back, and that's it. And that's where the line for me is drawn. You're a detriment to your team if the only thing you're doing is tactically inserting and just standing there waiting to die and being able to spawn right back on your tags just to get 250 points. Like, for one thing, it's a cheap way to level up. It's embarrassing. You end the game at like 4 and 30, and then you're top on the scoreboard with like 5,000 points because you tactically inserted. Like, that's the difference to me. Like, this game I go 42 and 7, and I use the tactical insertion to hold down a certain area. I think I get into that one building on the side of the map, and I use the tactical insertion to stay in that portion of the map because with a sniper rifle, you're at a disadvantage when you're running around. So if I'm in that building and then I die and I spawn like halfway across the map, I have to somehow find a way to get back to that area of the map that I like to hold down with the sniper, when I could just as easily tactically insert and be right there. So, as a product of that, I may get my own tags a couple times, but it's not like that was the sole purpose of me using tactical insertion. And that's basically where I'm at with it. So anyways, hate if you want to, I don't care, but I figured I may as well decipher where I draw the line. But the next thing is Black Ops 2 was at E3 and everybody's, crazed about that. But really, we didn't learn anything new about the game. We got to see some gameplay of the campaign. And like I'm basically sticking to my guns. I'm not going to talk about it too long, but I stick to what I said when the trailer came out. It looks like it could be a super fun campaign. However, it looks like if even half of that stuff is in the multiplayer, it could be way more frustrating than Modern Warfare 3 even. And, some people would find that hard to believe. But, imagine playing multiplayer and getting sniped by that, X-ray sniper. But, Treyarch is much better at balancing guns than Infinity Ward could ever be. Balancing guns, kill streaks, all that stuff. So I trust them, and until we get like some solid facts on the multiplayer, I'm not going to pass judgment. But as far as what I think, that's the big question, is that X-ray sniper, if it's in multiplayer, what should they do? Everybody's kind of talking about that. In my opinion, what would be nice is it only be a one-shot kill if it was a fully maxed out, fully powered shot. Like, if you paid attention on the screen, there's like 4 different charge levels, and you have to stay scoped in long enough to charge it up. If it's fully charged, then it can be a one-shot kill. But if not, anything less than that, like a three bar, level charge, should be, a hit marker, and so on and so forth. So, like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think that would balance it out some. To make somebody have to hit you twice with it, unless it's fully charged, would be okay. But we'll just have to see what they decide to do with it, if they even put it in the game at all. But it is just heavily rumored to be in the multiplayer. But, like I said, we really didn't learn too much about multiplayer. So on to my real topic for the day. I'm going to talk about some of my gun stats. And, basically the moral of this story is, like, just because you see people using the ACR and the MP7 and the PP90 all the time, go out and use some different guns, because you never know which ones you may be actually the best with in this game. So without any further to say, I'm gonna go right in here and jump in. Oh, well, I guess I should start off by saying that I have maxed out all these guns. Like, that's why I decided to wait till now to do it. I've maxed out all my guns, from assault rifles all the way down to rocket launchers in the secondary. Like, all my secondary guns, pistols, machine pistols, launchers are all at level 10. My riot shields even at level 10, and then all my other guns are golden. So I felt like this was a good time to go through and talk about this. My MK46 is my best gun with a 2.1 kill death ratio, and I have them sorted by kill death ratio because the only choices you have are kills, which I feel like would just be whichever guns you use the most would be the highest kills. That's not really a judge of which one you do the best with. Accuracy, your sniper rifles and shotguns are going to be very high up there on your accuracy, so that would be skewed. Headshots is the same thing with kills, whichever one you use the most, and then deaths while using. So I don't feel like that would help you to know which one you die the most or less with. But kill death ratio I think is the best one to use to sort it. Like I said, MK46 is my #1 gun. Big surprise there. You don't ever really see many people using the MK46, but it really is a good gun. And, you know, that basically goes back to my point, is to just try out some different guns. And there'll be some other surprises in here that you wouldn't think would be as high on the list. My ACR, no surprise there, 2.02 KD. This is widely considered the best gun in the game. And it's hard for me to disagree. Sometimes I feel like it's, you know, so amazing, but sometimes it's inconsistent for me. I think it's because I don't run kick on it. But if you do put kick on the ACR, it is a monster. It's right up there with like the Type 95 for being, you know, just ridiculous. But here's a couple surprises coming up in the next few guns. The CM901 with a 1.89 kill death ratio. The Type 95, no surprise there, 1.88. And the AK-47, 1.77. So the CM901 and the AK-47 are both in my top 5. I would have thought guns like the PP90, the MP7, the M4, the G36, like some of these guns that I feel like I do really well with would have been higher on the list, but they're not. So CM901 and AK-47, 2 of the assault rifles that people widely consider the worst in the game, are in my top 5. So, you know, that just again goes to show you to use some of these different guns. Next, right after the AK-47, I have the MK14 at 1.71, the L86 at 1.7. And then next is the USAS at 1.68. So the USAS is my best shotgun, even though a lot of people consider the Striker the best. And if you see a lot of people using the Striker, and I don't really see too many people using the USAS, but the USAS has a much longer range and a much longer one-shot range, like one-shot kill range. And I kind of talked about this in my last video with the USAS Moab, but yeah, man, like just try the different shotguns and see which one you like the best. They do cause a lot of frustration until you get them to the damage and range, like proficiencies, but you know, it's worth it in my opinion. They're really fun to use. After the USAS, I got the M4A1 with a 1.66 and the G36 with a 1.64, and both of those I would have thought would have been up there, you know, right up there with like the ACR and like the Type 95. But strangely enough, the CM901 and the AK-47 took the place of the M4 and the G36. That's kind of where I thought they would have been. But anyways, right after that is the MG36. So the MG36, 1.63 kill death ratio. And the RSAS is strangely enough my best assault rifle. I mean, yeah, it basically is an assault rifle. My best sniper rifle, you know, and I thought that was strange because I thought that I did awful with that. It must have been on my RSAS spraying that I did. The best way to use the RSAS, I hate to say it, is to put an ACOG on it and just spray that thing. You know, when you aim at a guy, fire 3 or 4 bullets because, you know, it's obviously only a one-shot headshot. And, you know, you're very rarely going to get two shots back-to-back on him. So you need to fire a few extra bullets in there just for the recoil and purposes like that. You know, I mean, it's just unfortunate to say to spray that gun and just press the right trigger over and over again, but you know, that's basically what you have to do. The M60 is down here, 1.61, and the AS50, 1.57. That is strange. The RSAS and the AS50 are my 2 best snipers. That just blows my mind. The Scar L, 1.57, right there with the AS50. And the Scar is also another one that I feel like I do much better with than these stats are showing. So I feel like that would have been up there in the top. The PKP, 1.56. That's no surprise to me that that's my worst light machine gun. I hated that gun. I don't know what it was. And this is another big surprise. The P90 is my best submachine gun with 1.53. And that's compared to the MP7 and PP90 right down here at 1.43 and 1.42. So, you know, the P90 is like, you know, you never hear people bring that up as the best submachine gun. It's always PP90 versus MP7. And, you know, again, that just goes to show you, you need to try out these weapons because you don't know which one you're the best with. You know, the majority of people might be best with the MP7, but, you know, apparently I'm better with the P90. So, you know, you really need to, you know, give all these guns a try and see how you are with them. I skipped over the striker because I was talking about the submachine guns. I got a 1.45 with that, so that is my second best shotgun. No surprise there. 50 Barrett 50 cal is 1.41. I would have thought that would have been one of my better snipers, but you know, apparently the RSAS and the AS50 are better. Now here you get to some lower KDs. The M16 1.37. I feel like that's the worst assault rifle in the game, but apparently the FAD is for me the 1.35 KD that I have with that. Which isn't too much different than 1.37, but you know, it is a difference. The MP5 is a 1.37, the UMP is a 1.37. So MP5 and UMP apparently are the same for me, but I would definitely take the UMP over that. The PM9 is my worst submachine gun, 1.26. The MSR is 1.24. I'm almost done, guys. I know these numbers get boring. KSG is 1.23, and the Spaz also 1.23. Dragunov 1.22. That is the worst sniper, man. The Dragunov is basically the same thing as the RSAS. It's a one-shot headshot and 2 shots everywhere else, but you know, the kick on the Dragunov is just ridiculous, and the sights on it suck. You basically have to run ACOG, and the kick is just, like I said, ridiculous. You basically have to lay down, because if you lay down, there basically is no recoil on the Dragunov, but you know, there's not really many places on some maps to just lay down and just start killing people. The Model 1887 1.17, and the L11 8A is my worst sniper, 1.13. That's probably because that was the one sniper that I actually ran around like a crazy person with and just tried to snipe people. And then the AA12 is my worst gun with a 1.12, and I don't really count the riot shield, but it is in here, 0.32 kill death ratio with the riot shield. The riot shield got much better with the melee proficiency. You could basically hit guys twice in the amount of time you could hit them once without it, but you get massive amounts of assists with the riot shield too. But anyways, that wraps up my guns. So basically the big surprises were that the MK46 is my best gun, the CM901 and the AK47 are both in my top 5, and the P90 is my best submachine gun. The RSAS and the AS50 are my 2 best snipers. Like, you just need to go out there and try some of these different weapons and see how you do with them, because you know, just because people say the Type 95 and the ACR and the MP7 and PP90 are the best, you know, really they're just overused. You know, like the ACR and Type 95 really are overpowered, but you know, some of these other guns that people tell you are OP are just overused. You know, they just get continuously killed by the same guns, and they get frustrated and pissed off by that, so they just, you know, hate those guns. But you know, really, if you start to use them, you'll realize they're not as overpowered as people want you to think that they are. But you know, go out there and give them a try for yourself if you don't believe me, and you know, I'll talk to you guys later.